It is a program to help conserve your energy cost.
I'm really excited about this project. We are retrofitting over 700 homes in Durham to make them more energy efficient. This will not only save the residents energy and money, but will also reduce Durham's greenhouse gas emissions overall. So the city of Durham facilitated this project by bringing in a number of partners. One of them is Clean Energy Durham, a local nonprofit that is working on the outreach to the neighborhoods and doing the energy education, training volunteers, going door to door, working on that infrastructure in the communities. Then we have our retrofit contractors who are working hard in the homes every day to make sure that these retrofits are as good as possible. And then we also partnered with Advanced Energy that has the knowledge on specific building infrastructure and how buildings work as a system that allowed us to really focus on what would be the most efficient retrofits to do in these homes.
I used to see my mother always volunteering for different organizations and sororities and community services and whatnot, and I'd think, oh, I'm not going to do that when I get to be her age. But hey, here we are. A neighbor of mine, she introduced me to the program, and it was the Neighborhood Energy Retrofit Program. I said, okay, well, if people qualify for this, then I need to get this information out to them. We had to read all of the literature. We had to learn how to convey these issues, messages, saving techniques to people. I chose to become a volunteer because so often people aren't informed. In my heart, I know volunteering is the basis for the tie that binds the neighborhood and the people together. We would get out in the evenings and walk the neighborhood, knock on doors. Good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
Making contact with the people one-to-one was very important.
So Durham was the first community in all of North Carolina to adopt a greenhouse gas emissions reduction plan. And part of this plan is to reduce emissions in our community by 30%. In order to do that, we've got to address residential energy use. So this project was a great way to begin that process. We've selected 15 neighborhoods. We've trained volunteers to actually teach their neighbors how to do energy efficiency in their own home. So not only are we saving energy and money by doing specific retrofits on homes, we're actually building community in these neighborhoods around energy efficiency.
Let us get started.
As a volunteer, I participated in 2 workshops. One was the BEE program, which is a basic energy education, which is a great interactive learning tool. People ask great questions about energy efficiency.
You got going to the outside,
Going
or
to that
like
outside.
your water heaters,
Yeah.
all of those things.
That's right.
Everybody is trying to take individual steps. One of the results of doing that, each of us, is to have reduced utility costs. You know, less or a smaller heating bill, cooling bills.
I'm actually going to talk a little bit overall about how we use energy in our homes and how we lose energy in our homes. What do you think is the biggest use of energy in our homes?
The Do-It-Yourself workshop is a great event where we learn hands-on how to make different efficiency upgrades to the homes ourselves. To either insulate the outlets, add weather stripping to our doors, add caulking in our bathrooms. A couple of people that came to my workshop that I had at my house were unable to qualify, but they were still very interested in learning how to save energy.
Some of these things, like cleaning your refrigerator coil, yeah, you have to go get a brush, but your neighborhood may have one that you borrow, and you get such a payback for that.
We're really focusing on very specific retrofits that we know 95% of the houses in Durham need. So we don't need to go in and do a lot of studies or audits on these homes. We can just say up front, these are the things you need and we know they're going to save you energy. That way we can take most of our resources and actually focus them on the retrofits instead of just studying the homes.
We are doing the weatherization project for the city of Durham. It's a wonderful project that the city is doing. It helps save energy all across the county. It increases comfort for the homeowners of the houses. We go after saving water, we go after saving electricity. First, we do air sealing, finding all of the cracks in the outer shell of the house. So in the attic, penetrations that we find, we seal those up with the insulating foam and make sure that we have an air barrier between the conditioned living space and the attic where the insulation is going to be held. We also do air sealing in the crawl space. Down there we're sealing up all the plumbing penetrations. A lot of times when a house is built, they put the plumbing pipe in, there's a big hole there. We go through and we seal up all of your ductwork and make sure that we have a tight seal there so that all of the air that you're trying to blow into your house and that you're paying to have conditioned to come into your house is actually getting into the house. They can tell as soon as we tighten that duct system up, especially when it was dead in the summertime, it just got colder coming out of the registers almost instantly after we did that.
It was non-invasive. I mean, they came in, they were finished in less than an hour, and then they blew in 13 inches of cellulose insulation.
So after we create that air barrier, we create a thermal barrier, and what that is the insulation. We use cellulose insulation, which is a recycled product. It's a very green product.
We saw immediate return with our investment in that because just over the next colder nights we had, the furnace very rarely cut on.
Not just individual homes, but complete neighborhoods. The ultimate key in building a strong community is cohesive, one-on-one interaction with your neighbor.
What we've created here, I think, can really be a model for other communities. We've really learned how to streamline this process and make it work very efficiently to get targeted energy efficiency projects out into the community very quickly.
The NERP program greatly added to the camaraderie of our neighborhood. This model seems to be a much more effective model of getting the information across rather than having a top-down communication style. It's more grassroots.
Seeing people, talking to them face to face was an invaluable experience for me. It creates a cohesive neighborhood environment.
Because our house was retrofitted through this program, we've been able to save, over the course of the year, will be several $100s in energy costs. We have greatly added comfort in our home.
It's a win-win situation where everybody should see something from this.